Let's
I know, but
let's
I'm
just
just saying.
record it up to, you mean max hour?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
What
then
time? Okay.
whatever is usable out of that goes
Well, I
up.
don't do any editing.
I mean, you can cut out like the
I don't
beginning of
actually. I've never done it. I have no idea how to do it.
it.
So
So, are you serious?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
it's not hard.
yeah. Well, I mean, you can help me if you want.
Yeah. Okay, so actually, I was curious. This might be kind of an intense one to start on, but I thought we could talk about Bubs. There's
Yeah, that might be.
three kind of like particular stories that are kind of iconic to me for him. One is when he let all the snakes and rabbits out of the cages from the
I've
neighbors.
only heard that from you. I don't even remember that.
Really?
Yeah, you've
Okay.
told me about that a few times, but I don't remember it. I think I can picture it, but I don't think I can. I don't think. I think I try to picture it.
Okay. How about when you ran away and he went with you? He like followed you.
Well, I'm cool. You just asked about the snakes, and I don't. What do you know that happened?
Well, I'm just saying, like, I know that I have like
I
part
don't
of the
remember.
story
I
that I
don't
did.
remember it at all.
Yeah.
Well, the only part I know is what you just said.
So,
That
but that's so the three stories is the snakes and rabbits. Part the other one is when you ran away, he went with you,
okay.
and then there's when he got kidnapped.
Ooh,
Are those are kind of too dark, huh?
they're, it's fine.
Actually, let's talk about something else I was curious about is was kind of your take on Wrens
Okay.
from when we were kids. That can get real dark too, because I fucking hated it when we were
Anything,
kids.
but I don't even off the top of my head. I'm just like, what would I say? Do
Well, what did you think about him?
you mean when we were young?
Yeah,
I think I hated him.
did you
I think so. I think I was jealous of him taking mom, getting the
really?
attention. Yeah. I think. I either thought he was a jerk or I was jealous of him. I'm not. It might have been a mix of those. I don't
Okay.
really remember super young. I remember in teenage years. I remember he worked on cars a lot, and I loved his Mustang.
Uh
That
huh.
car was freaking cool,
The red one.
and that makes remembering that car makes me remember hating him too. So, but I don't. I don't know. I don't know why. I just didn't like him. I guess you know.
Yeah.
So my best guess is that I was jealous of him. I don't think I ever actually thought of it as jealousy, but maybe it was, you know.
Do you remember him and mom fighting?
Yeah, oh yes, all the time. I mean, didn't they fight every day?
They fought a lot. I remember like when he would bust down, like not bust down, he'd take the door off the hinges, which you'd lock him out.
I remember at least once or twice of that.
Okay. Okay. I don't know if that's where we kind of want to start. They're a little dark. Um.
Well, what wouldn't be dark off the top of your head? Like anything lately?
Oh, lately?
Yeah,
Lately
or
it's all
anything at all.
darkness.
Oh, well, yeah, yeah. So, well, that confirms that.
Okay. How about if we talk about I heard you talking. Well, I was kind of like in and out of sleep, but I heard you talking on your stream about my job and my why I left, and you weren't clear on certain
I
things.
always forget the name.
Oh,
Always.
it does. I wouldn't want to say the name
Oh,
anyway,
okay, okay. No
just because I
props
don't
to
want to
that
get
company.
sued.
Sued for what?
Being honest,
No, I mean, well, what are they gonna get? They wouldn't sue it, man. I'm telling you, we just show them our bank statements. Be like, look, what are you
there's
gonna sue
nothing
us
to sue
for?
for.
Yeah, good luck. Enjoy that.
You can't take my packs.
No, what the hell are we talking about?
Are you recording yet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Um,
Oh, everything's bad.
everything is bad. Everything has always been bad. Everything will always be bad.
Yeah, there you go. That's the reality, and not what you constantly try to hope for.
Yeah. Okay. I have like okay. This might be. I don't want to hurt your feelings.
Oh no, go ahead.
A lot of
Ow!
the main thing that I remember you for from when we were kids was stealing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I remember when we lived on Summit Rose, you and your the friends from down the street and Bubs would go down to Kmart and steal the Hot Wheels.
We stole Hot Wheels?
Yeah, they used to have Hot Wheels in like
Wow.
tubs.
I don't remember stealing Hot Wheels. That's funny.
What do you
Oh, I
remember
used to
stealing?
steal sports cards and the Tiger LCD games.
But that's when you were like older. That was like
Oh, you
junior
mean
high, right?
like way younger?
Yeah.
I really don't remember. Hot Wheels. No, yeah, and I don't know if they were the same kids. I don't remember. I remember I think I've told you this before. I remember the first time I ever stole was I saw one of my. I don't think them as friends now, but I remember them being friends. You know, like what you would call friends and stuff. And I remember watching my friend just steal a pack of bubble gum, just take it, just pulled it right off the shelf and just put it in his pocket. And I think he even like pulled out a piece right there and just started popping it in his mouth and stuff right there and put the package in his like he paid for it, but he didn't. And that was the first time I learned how to steal, and I was like, holy shit, you can just do that. So. And of course, it's bad and whatever, but I never really thought of it. And then I think that was the first time I ever witnessed a theft and then became a thief for a while.
How old were you?
I don't remember.
Do you remember
Might
where
have
we
been like
lived?
it was oh my gosh, Summit Rose. Wait. No, it was
Was it
Foothill, the apartments
behind Stan's Liquor?
where the laundromat
Yeah.
was right next
Yeah.
door. Yeah.
So was it you saw him steal from
Remember that liquor store
from the liquor
right
store?
there?
Yeah.
Right there, yeah. That
Okay.
one, yeah. We used to go there and play the arcades all the time.
So you saw him was it one of the remember there were two twins? I think it was two twins or two brothers and two sisters.
I think it was one sister.
I thought there was two girls.
Oh, you know what? There was two girls.
So was it the one of those boys?
It was. I think so.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was one of those.
So let's see. So if we were living there, I would have been. I was in kindergarten, first year of kindergarten. So you would have been in first grade.
How young's that? I don't know what first grade
6.
is. Holy crap! Really?
Yeah.
Wow. No, they couldn't be. No, they couldn't be. There's no way.
Yeah. I remember from that time. Well, I remember from Summit Rose. You used to
Wait,
go. To
you
steal
would have
Hot
been
Wheels.
6.
No, I would have been 5. You would have been 6.
Damn it. No, that's weird. I don't think I was that young when that happened.
I mean, that's how old we were when we were living there.
I don't know. Really?
Yeah.
No. I don't know, man. This doesn't sound right. I don't think I was.
Yeah.
No, I thought I was at least like 8 or 9.
Oh no, because we were in foster care when you were 8. No, we were back from foster care by the time.
No, we weren't.
Yeah. Bubba died when I was 7. You were 8, and then we were there for about a year and a half, and then I was 8, going on 9 when we got back with Mom, and you were.
So I was 10, 11.
Yeah.
Okay.
9, 10.
That makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah. No, you were a baby. You started young.
Jeez. Well, I guess that's why I learned a lot of lessons when I was young.
I remember one time we were at we were living here in Glendale with Virginia. I don't know if you remember her. She was awful. She used to she never let us like stay in the house on the weekend. She'd always send us to the park or whatever.
No, the park. I love the park. Was she the one that like forced us to church and
Yeah.
kneel and I hated it so much.
She took us once and then she made us walk every single week.
I don't even remember.
From
Oh
the
no, I
house.
love that walk though.
I liked
I
the
remember
walk.
that walk. Yeah.
I liked the grape juice and the cracker, but it was so weird to me because I was too young to understand. I was like, why would they give us a snack but it's one that like is just gonna make you even hungrier? Like it was nothing. Like I wanted more.
Give me more cracker. I know. I was the
Like why
same
did they
way.
give you a piece of cracker?
We're like,
and
wait a
sip of
second. What
juice?
is this? This is breakfast? Like,
Because I remembered when we were living with Ellie, we'd go to Sunday school and they'd have like a couple of cookies and a like thing of juice, and I was like, what is with this chintzy fucking church, you know? But I remember on the way back once, on the way back from church, you and I don't know if you remember the foster kid that I think you shared a room with him. He was around your age. He was the only one I think that Virginia liked.
Oh,
Um,
okay, okay.
and you and he, though there was like a little garage sale in an actual garage. And it was like set up kind of like a little boutique. It was very cute. It looked like they'd actually like instead of renting a shop, had actually set up their garage as like a little shop, and so there was like little hair thingies and like toys and stuff like that. And then you didn't want me to come.
Man, I'm such a jerk.
No, you didn't want me to come in because you were gonna steal.
Oh, whoa, that makes sense.
But I came in and then I stole something. I stole a banana hair clip. It was turquoise banana hair clip.
Oh my gosh.
And then I showed it to you because I was like, you don't have to leave me behind. I steal too. And then I showed it to you, and you got so mad at me for stealing. And I ended up throwing it in a bush because I was so like humiliated.
Aw. No, I wouldn't want you to do bad things. Probably, you know.
Do you remember doing that?
No. Well, no. I like you. It sort of comes back to me, but I don't have it as a fresh memory kind of a thing.
Another one is when Virginia, for whatever reason, there were enough bikes for all of us. So on the weekends we'd go to the park. We'd like
My
bike over
chain
the
used
park.
to break all the time.
Did it? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember walking it more than riding it, but there was a sandwich truck that this guy used to have. And he'd have like, sandwiches on ice and ice cold sodas and candies and stuff. And you and the kid, I don't remember his name, used to go steal from that truck. And I remember one time, like, you guys used to steal sandwiches and stuff, and I always wanted a sandwich because I was always hungry. Some things never change, but I didn't have the nerve to try to steal something that big, so I used to steal like the sticks of Jolly Ranchers, and I'd put them under my shirt. And one time I put the like a handful of Jolly Ranchers under my sweater, and then I started to like bike away, and they fell out from under my sweater, and I just remember the look on the guy's face of like total betrayal and hurt, and I just was like, that was the last time I stole anything.
Yeah.
Because I just couldn't. When you're stealing something as a kid and you don't realize that there are consequences, like, you think, I'm getting this for me. You don't think I'm taking this from someone else.
Yeah.
And so that was a huge, just the look on his face. And then I remember I used to hang out with this girl in junior high who was a klepto. And I don't remember her name, but she used to like to go down to Kmart and steal like makeup and stuff. And she couldn't convince me to steal with her because, like, even though I knew it was like a business, like a corporation, and it wasn't like a person I was stealing from, I was so tempted because I really wanted, like, I knew we couldn't afford anything. Did you know Mom was a klepto too?
Oh my gosh. So I inherited it.
Yeah.
And then I inspired you.
Yeah, but I learned at age 8 not to do that anymore. Do you remember?
Than I did.
Do you remember why you used to steal? Like, what were the thoughts?
I just wanted free stuff. I just wanted it. And that's all. Same thing as when I buy stuff. I just want it.
If I have money, I'll buy it. If I don't have money, I'll take it.
Well, no, back then, I mean, I don't steal. I haven't stolen. So I think I was 18. I might have been 16, but no, I didn't. No, it was only about want something, take it.
Do you remember why you stopped?
Yeah, I got caught twice.
Oh, right, shoplifting
So
at
first,
Kmart.
I think first time was 16, and
Yeah.
that was the warning one. Slap on the wrist, and then 18 when they booked me, and they were getting on my finger, but they didn't take me. I think I didn't go to the prison. They almost took me, but to like really scare me, they took my fingerprints and shit, So I was like, well, now they've got me on the record. But I mean, that's what's funny is because what really stopped me from stealing was getting caught a couple of times. I didn't want to go to jail, and that's it. I didn't feel guilty, which is weird to think about now, as I never really thought about it. But I still don't feel guilty that where the company stuff I stole. I don't
Yeah.
feel company at all. I feel really guilty for stealing Lindsay's money.
Oh, yeah.
I've always felt guilty for that. And then when I found out he blamed mom, I was like, oh my gosh.
Well, she probably did used to steal money from him.
Maybe, but
I remember when she told me that like you stole hundreds of dollars from him, and I was just like, is he in trouble? And she was just like, yeah. She wasn't even upset. Like, I don't know if she was upset when she talked to you about it. When she talked to me about it, she was not even upset.
I don't even remember if we talked about it. We might have, but I don't think I got in trouble for that. Oh man, I think she knew what I spent it on then. And it wasn't hundreds. If I remember right, it was like 140 or something. It could have been hundreds, but I don't.
I mean, it was a lot of money.
It was, yeah. It was.
And I said, "What did he spend it on?" And she's like, "At that card store next door." And I remember that was the part that pissed me off the most because I hated rents when we were kids. So I didn't care that you stole from him. But I was like, if I had $140, I wouldn't have spent it on fucking baseball cards.
Yeah. Oh man, that was an addiction. That was fun though.
Did you feel bad about that in the moment, or did you like feel bad about it later?
I think I felt it bad about it the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, probably, because I felt it pretty quickly. But I wasn't gonna be able to give it back, and
Right.
so I was like, "Well, mom's gonna have my cards," kind of. Like, because I couldn't do anything, I couldn't do it. Even if, I mean, probably should have apologized, but
I know you apologized to him recently.
yeah, 40 years later, freaking hell.
You know, I'm sure that because neither of us was. Well, I don't know if you were like. I think you mostly just ignored him. But I was actually like actively mean to him.
Oh, really?
Oh, I cringe.
Wow.
I cringe. Mom, like, when she was mad at him, she would say really mean things about him, and then I would repeat them when he would come back. So, like, she used to say that his hair was like a Brillo pad, and so when he'd come back, I'd call him Brillo head.
Oh, I remember that. I didn't know where you got it from.
I got it from her!
That's so funny.
And he never
I
reacted.
never understood that. I was like, I never understood. Like, I was like, where did you just come? I always thought you were like super clever and shit.
No, I was just a fucking asshole, stupid kid.
Oh my god.
He told me that his hair was like a Brillo pad, and then she had to explain to me what a Brillo pad was because I'd never heard of it. It's how often I did dishes, but no, but she was a little klepto too. She told me she started stealing when she was like 3.
Oh, where are we learning this from, man? Oh my
Well,
gosh.
so her family was poor too, but also not only that, but her mom was really mean. So the first place she ever stole from was Hober's Pharmacy.
Really?
Yeah, it was like the late 50s, so they used to have like the penny candies and the 10-cent candies. And she used to steal those, and then she got older and she used to start like stealing clothes and stuff. There was this boutique that was where it's like across from the park in Sunland where Sundrift is now. And like up on the top part where like Ralph's is. There was like a fashion boutique, and
It's about mall.
yeah,
It was a mall.
Mom used to steal clothes from this woman when she was a teenager, and she went, and she was like, she knew that I was stealing, and she never stopped me, and she never shamed me.
Wow.
Yeah, she knew that I would go in there to steal, and
it's so cool.
and I think she went back like years later and apologized.
Yeah.
Do you know that?
I do not know that,
You
but it
don't
makes
know.
sense.
The best story she ever told me about stealing was she was at the mall and Renz had wandered off somewhere and somebody had left these boxes of figurines, like glass, like really nice figurines, like just I don't know, around. I think it must not have been in a store or something. Um, but she just started taking them, just like armfuls of figurines. She just walked away with them, and I was just like,
I didn't know she was so cool.
and this was when she was older. This was like when you and I were
when she was a grown woman with kids, and
Yeah.
teenagers and shit.
Well, no, this was when
were almost teens?
when we were in foster care.
Oh, was it?
So, because I asked her, what did you do when we weren't together? So part of it was she was in the mental hospital, and then part of it, like, she and Renz used to they lived in his car for a while, and they used to like dine and dash all the time.
I remember that. I didn't hear any deep stories of Dine and Dash. I just heard about a lot of Dine and Dashing.
There was one where so back in the day, you used to get your gas, and then you'd pay for it based on how much gas you took. I always say that the reason they changed that is because of people like Mom and Renz. Because they used to like gas and go. They just wouldn't pay.
Yeah, that does make a lot of sense.
She said one time the owner of the gas station, it was like a mom and pop place, not like a Chevron or whatever. He got into a car and started chasing them with a shotgun.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I think you might have mentioned that in the past at some point.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
But did he ever shoot at them?
I don't think he shot at them. No, I think he was more like, I think he was pissed. He was pissed.
Yeah.
I'm sure they weren't the only people who stole from him, but
He probably got sick of her.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But so I asked her, what did you do with the figurines? And she was like, I just give them away as gifts. And I was just like, so
That's right.
She'd give her to like
awesome.
family members. She's like, I just gave them to like my sisters and like probably went to my mom. And I was just like, and she's like, here I am homeless, and I'm giving out these priceless figurines, and nobody asks me a question about like where I got them or how I was able to afford them.
Well, I never would have thought of that either. That is so freaking funny. Well, I mean, how do you know she didn't have an excuse, you know?
No, she told me. She was just like, they didn't even ask.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, hey, they got a gift. You know, I mean, whatever.
Oh my god. So we come by it honestly, our dishonesty.
So our whole family, a bunch of thieves. I kind of, you know, I mean, especially with what's happened in 2020, I want to be a thief again.
Well, when
like,
I was,
oh my gosh.
Oh my god, I was like literally earlier, not this year, early last year when I was like out of work and I was running out of my savings, I was like legit like thinking about like how to rob a bank and get away with it.
Oh, we talked about
Yeah.
that. I forgot we.
But I was like, because you don't have to threaten anyone, you don't need a weapon. But I picked up some good tips on TV, or not TV, on the internet, on YouTube.
Of course.
So one of them is that the reason people get caught, because they rarely get caught, but they get caught because they get lazy. So what they do is their first job, they like pick far away from where they live.
All right, let's not give our secrets away. let's get to the non-secret stuff. The stuff we're not planning to do together. Let's go forward a little bit.
There was this like little old man who was like, he had robbed like 16 banks or something like that.
Little old.
And what had happened was he had like started out like in like a couple of cities away, and then as time went on, he got closer. Like he just got lazy. Like he didn't want to go as far.
Mm-hmm.
And like
he was getting away with it.
But he's only getting away with like $2,000, $3,000, $5,000.
Bank?
Yeah, because
he's just doing the register.
They're not going into the vault. Yeah, they're just going to one person.
We gotta do a vault. All right, look, we can't keep giving. This is wrong recording to give our plans away.
But I was seriously thinking about like what bank can I go to? That is like, I was like, I'm gonna get on a bus. I'm gonna go somewhere far. I'm gonna fucking rob the place, and then I'm gonna like go home. And then it's just like, you know, like I was literally like weighing the pros and cons of like, okay, if I only get away with like a couple of $1,000s, then I'm gonna have to go back and do it again like soon. And like, is it worth the risk of getting caught? Because if you get caught, that's years in jail.
Oh no, I would go down in a shootout.
Well, see, that's the thing. I don't want to hurt anybody.
No, I don't. No, I don't mean at the bank. I mean, if cops found out where I was, I would make them kill me. At least
Suicide by
I'd try. I'd be really hard as a white dude, but I would do my best.
It's the only appropriate time for blackface.
Oh my. Oh fuck, that was hardcore. Oh my gosh. Jeez, you gotta say that again. I'm just kidding. Don't say it. That was pretty damn funny. Wow. All right. Do you need more water? Do you want me to grab us a bottle of water?
I like tap water.
Oh. Such a peasant.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna take a minute break. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get some water. Yeah, I know. All right, so we're back. Probably took a little bit longer than expecting.
I don't think the audio listener will be able to tell.
Yeah. So we were talking about.
I have another story, another mom story.
Okay, hold on, because we gotta continue and finish the bank robbing story.
Oh, right.
We were talking about being poor and getting to the point of needing to rob a bank.
Well, it's that or get a job.
And at this point, we're like, fuck a job.
I was so fried from my last couple of jobs. I just couldn't. I just couldn't even. I went on Indeed after you and I talked about me getting like a part-time job.
What's Indeed?
Indeed, it's like a job hosting place. It's where I got my last job. Well, not my last job. It's where I got
The temp one?
Age of Learning. No, the temp one. I finally thought about it because the had been signed up with temp agencies, and I was like, oh, I could sign up, but I got one job from them in like 4 months.
But have you called them though?
Oh no, not since Corona.
That would probably be why.
Not since COVID. No, but before that, I was signed up for them for 3 months, and I think I got one job out of it.
Well, I would still call them back. I mean, whatever,
I don't want to.
Yeah, I know. So the bank robbery, and I forget why I wanted to go back to that. I had I think I had something funny to say, and then, that was while we were walking back in, so I lost it. It's gone. So you said you had the next topic, and I forget what it was.
Oh no, it's the same topic. It was
okay.
It was another mom story.
Okay.
So it was the best pizza mom ever had. So she and Ren's, I think when they were both homeless, so they'd get vouchers to stay in these seedy motels.
Mm-hmm.
And so one time they're at the seedy motel and they order a pizza and they only have $100 bill and the guy doesn't have change. So they're like, well, leave the pizza, go get change. When you come back, we'll give you the money and you can give us change and we'll be done. And he didn't want to leave the pizza, but mom. So she just like was at the guy until she's like, you know where we are, you can just come back. Like, we're not going anywhere. So so finally this kid, probably 16, probably his first job, probably his first day, goes to get change. He comes back and he's knocking and they won't open the door. But he knows they're in there because they can't stop laughing. Like, they have the giggles. They were probably high as shit.
Mm-hmm.
But the pizza was a Hawaiian pizza with cherries on it, maraschino cherries. And she said it was the only time that she'd ever had pizza from a place that added maraschino cherries. It was the best pizza she'd ever had, and she got it for free.
Was that not Giamello's?
It wasn't. No, it was. I don't think it was. I think it was like probably in Hollywood or something. Yeah, no, she said she could never find a place after that added cherries to their Hawaiian pizza. Or to their pizza in general.
Well, I guess she could have gone back and apologized and given him some extra money for a pizza she stole. Oh, man. One sec.
A lot of amends to make if she had ever, done the process. The 12-step process.
Oh, that reminds me, I still haven't finished that show, Mother, or Mom.
Mom.
Yeah. I haven't finished it. I think I just lost a mood on it.
Yeah, me too.
You said you finished it, though, didn't you?
Mm-mm.
Oh. I keep thinking you finished it.
I stopped watching on the episode where that girl gained a bunch of weight and then lost it immediately.
Oh yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
There was conversation in my social media about putting actors in fat suits, and it was about that show on Netflix with that girl who she loses a bunch of weight and she gets really sexy, and then she starts to get revenge on all her the people who were mean to her when she was fat.
Your typical bully story.
Yeah, but people were up in arms about it because she had been wearing a fat suit, and I'm just I mean, I get it. But anyway, the point is, I had that in my head, and then I'm watching this Mom show, and I see this very, very thin actress come in, and she's all chubby, and I was like, oh, okay, so she's going to be thin by the end of the episode, or maybe 2 or 3 episodes out. And I was just I already know how this is going to go. I don't need to watch this.
I think I forget, you probably explained that to me, but I think I forget why that makes you mad or upset, because they're not. Oh, I think I don't know. Shouldn't it matter on the content though, the context, the story, the narrative, more than because it would make sense to have the same actor if instead of having them gain weight, what's the guy did in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Yeah, but the difference. Well, first the difference is that he actually gained the weight, and then he actually lost the weight, and then he actually put the.
And I'm sure that was his own goal and personal thing that he wanted to do for his show. But what I mean is, not everybody has the time to do that. Nobody, whatever.
I just think it's lazy writing to put on a fat suit because you can't think of a storyline for someone.
Oh.
And I'm just I watch enough shows where I'm just I really like this show, and all of a sudden here's a fat joke, and I'm
yeah,
I don't need to be the punchline in every show.
Well, that's what I was
asking.
Yeah. That's what I was asking specifically, if it were good narrative, good story, made sense.
Yeah, the show on Netflix didn't bother me really because that the whole premise of the show was that she loses weight. So of course she starts out in a fat suit. It wouldn't make sense otherwise.
Wait, so that confused me. So it wasn't a live lose weight thing or whatever.
Oh no,
it was just a story.
No, it was a scripted series.
Okay. So I'm not familiar with it. I haven't even heard of it.
Oh yeah, it was very stupid, and I felt really bad because a friend of mine's daughter is one of the main characters. Not the
Mm.
main character, she's like the main character's best friend. And my friend is so sweet. Um, she she's the one who told me to shut my whore mouth. Um,
That's such a good line.
and I just thought that was the funny, just coming from her, this like middle-aged, like the sweetest
Right.
middle-aged, like everybody's mom, just telling me to shut my whore mouth. It was the funniest thing that has probably ever happened to me. But so her daughter is on the show. And so
Why I forget?
I
why
wanted
did
to
she-
like it.
Why
but
did
it
she
was
tell you that?
She don't. Oh, I just came up and I was like, she was so there was a show at a comedy club that I used to work at, and she was hosting and she was talking to one of the comedians that was coming up, and I was like, "Can I talk to you for a second?" And I don't even remember why. I was probably gonna tell her something. And she goes, "No, why don't you just shut your whore mouth?"
just randomly out of the blue.
And which was why it was so funny. First of all, it was hilarious coming from her, who is just like this.
Did she know you when you did that?
Yeah, she's just like
She's just
this.
messing around.
Her whole persona is just this sweet, motherly, like kind of dirty comedian, and she's just off stage. She's just the nicest, and on stage she's like the same on stage and off stage, but her jokes are kind of dirty. But she's like, she talks about like being middle aged and like her lady parts and stuff. But I mean that's not all her jokes. But no, yeah. So, but that was just the funniest. Yeah, just coming from her, she had never said anything remotely like unpleasant to anybody that I had ever like seen her interact with or me. You know, like she's just like this. Yeah. So to have that come from her. It was just like I immediately like burst into laughter, and I think the comedian that she was talking to that I interrupted them was wondering why I was laughing so hard because she had only met her that night and she had no context for the fact that she's never said anything like that before in her life, and she said it to me in that moment. It was just the funniest thing ever. But anyway, her daughter is on that show, and and I really wanted to like it, but I just didn't. And I think there's just something about like the tone that I didn't like. But the reason that it was like controversial is because the actress is in a fat suit instead of just getting a fat actress, or just writing a more creative story. You know.
Well, I'm curious now. I'm by a solution. Now here's the thing: is like people cast for a reason, right? They want the look, not just the look, but also the actual acting,
Yeah.
the voices, whatever, how they speak, and all that kind of the mannerisms, right?
Yeah.
Good actor, whatever. So let's say that they know who they want, and they're like, all right, well, we either put a fat suit on her, or we get somebody that's fatter that looks like her, and have a step in thing. Wouldn't that be just as bad? Well, if not worse. I guess I don't know.
I mean, that's not what happened. So
No,
like,
I'm curious.
they've
I'm
never
asking.
like aside from Charlize Theron, they've never like made a good-looking actress unattractive just because they want to have a show about an unattractive person.
Wait, I don't. That wasn't my question.
You're saying they want to hire her because she's...
No, I'm saying if instead of the fat suit, they got somebody that looks like her for a scene or whatever, she's just there for just.
Oh, okay. Okay, so like in Shallow Hal.
But it's not the same actress, and you always will see the difference.
Yeah, so in Shallow Hal, the actress... So Gwyneth Paltrow is the thin one.
I forgot about it. I haven't seen that in a long time.
And then they have an actress who looks very similar to Gwyneth, but she's heavier.
I thought that was her.
Yeah, no.
Wow.
Well, no, actually... I think sorry, they got a bigger actress to play the stunt double. I remember them talking about her. But no, she was in a fat suit. I can't remember. I think she was. Now I can't remember.
Well, why were we talking about that movie?
No, she was in a fat suit. Oh, I was gonna say because like they had a separate actress and like so. I don't mind stories about fat people, and I don't mind comedies based around fat people, and I don't mind necessarily the idea of like somebody like a character losing weight. What bothers me is when there's a lazy, done to death, same story I've seen a million times. Like when Jamie Presley walked into the set on Mom and she was chubby. Well, no, actually, before she even stepped foot, they're talking about, oh, we haven't seen
yeah.
What's Her Face in a
really.
while. I wonder what's happening. Or I was like, she's gonna come in a fat suit. I just fucking knew it. I had seen it so many times. I just fucking knew it. She was like, it's like a very special episode where like Zach Morris dates a girl in a wheelchair. You know, it's just like there's an episode.
I mean, I don't. That one was the episode was focused around it, and it gave a bunch of different points of view. It gave the points of view of him looking at her in his way, right, and then her looking at him her way, and then the observers looking at them both of their ways. You know.
What are we talking about?
The person in a wheelchair. It wasn't like there was an actual full story around it. It wasn't just like a 2-minute. Oh, let's feel bad for people in a wheelchair, or let's not feel bad for them. You know, there was an actual.
The Saved by the Bell episode?
Yeah.
Oh no, that was entirely like super like just generic bland.
It was, but
one
it was
episode.
still good.
Like there was an episode of Mr. Belvedere where the son I think he has to go to the prom or some school dance with this fat girl, and he's like not happy about it. And then by the end of it,
every show did that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Married with Children, man. Do you remember what was it? I can't remember the group of the women's group name. Something Mom, I think. I don't know. But okay, so what are you saying?
That's what I'm saying is I've seen it so many times, and it's lazy. It's for a cheap joke that has been done a million times.
Okay, well here's the thing. Now, I get you there, but that made you hate the whole show.
No, it didn't make me hate the whole show. It just made me kind of
disappointed you and frustrated you.
Lose interest. Like, okay, so something else that like, and by the way, like, I'm very sensitive. Like, I have strangers stop me on the street to give me like diet tips. You know, so
are you for real?
Oh yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and like it doesn't matter. Like it, like I used to when I worked.
Oh, you know what? You know what kind of diet you could go? Like just randomly?
Yeah. I should just say, like, you know what's a really good exercise? Fucking shutting your mouth.
You should tell them, based on what you look like, no.
But I would never. Like, and it's always, like, people who are, like, genuinely well-meaning. Like, they genuinely mean well. But, like, I like to think that I'm a person inside of a body. Wrong with you? Not a body with...
What do you think you are? Why do you think you're so special?
And then
snowflake over here.
Not a person who just only thinks about what I look like 100% of the time.
Oh my God.
How can I lose weight and how can... Like, I've been fat for, like, 30 years. Like, if I had wanted to figure it out, I'm pretty sure I fucking could have by now. But...
if you were serious about it.
You know, so it's taken me a long time to come to terms with the fact that I look the way I look. It's probably not going to change anytime soon, if ever. And I just have to kind of be okay with this.
Well, I am perfectly fine with the way you look. I think you're awesome.
Thank you.
And beautiful. And I think I'm still like, people come up to you and just offer diets.
Oh,
like,
yeah. I can tell you.
What's wrong with these people?
We'll do that on another episode. But, yeah, there's so many stories. But the point was... like, I'll be watching my favorite, like, show. Like, there's a show, like, Scrubs, that is, like, one of my favorite shows. And then I'm just watching an episode and just laughing, and then all of a sudden here's a fat joke. Yeah. And it's not because it's, like, thought out or clever or whatever. It's just, fat joke. Yeah. Oh, what else can we joke about? Here's a fat person, boom. You know, it's just, like, it's so...
I remember when it was, well, I mean... It's been a mix too, but I remember when it was more heavily towards the blonde jokes. I remember blonde jokes were constant. Oh my gosh. Everybody I knew, everywhere was just blonde jokes.
Yeah, stuff. Well, when I was in junior high, it was blonde jokes and Yo Mama jokes. And Yo Mama jokes are fat
God,
jokes.
I hate Yo. No, not all of them. I would say half and half are racist and half are prejudiced.
Yeah. They're all awful.
The other half are fat jokes.
Fucking awful.
Yeah. Yo Mama's
very creative, but
I love like I tell people, I'm like, I rarely actually heard a smart one of those jokes. It's 1 out of a million.
Yeah.
And I never remember them. I don't think like, oh, I should say that one. I should start trying to do that. I should start looking for like an actual Good Yo Mama joke. But anyways.
So my point was that it just took me out of the show. It took me out of.
Yeah.
It took me away from empathizing with the characters and caring about them. And it was like,
It was
oh,
one episode, and it was one piece that was bad.
but it made me distrust the writers.
Oh yeah.
And like so
That's
similar,
true.
a similar issue, but a completely different reason. I was watching the Rapunzel animated series on Disney.
They have a series?
Oh yeah, and the first,
Oh.
I think I've only gotten through like maybe part of the second season, but so there's an episode where Rapunzel promises to help this kid. And then he comes to her for help, but she is in a position where she can no longer help him. She can't just stop what she's doing and go help him. So she's like, I'm so sorry. I just can't do it. And he goes away all upset. And she's all upset because she had to say no because she has this other pressing issue. Completely fine. Great writing. Lots of tension. All the feels, crying and everything. The end of the episode, she's sitting in a window seat with her, like, in her pajamas, and just, like, Finn comes in. Finn? I think that's his name.
Finn or Flynn?
Flynn. Yeah, Flynn comes in, and he's like, how are you doing? How are you holding up? That was pretty intense. She's like, I just feel so bad for breaking my promise. You know, I just couldn't help him. And I'm just like, bitch, why are you in your pajamas? Get on a fucking horse. You know? And so I'm just like, okay, maybe in the next episode. The next episode is about her having art block. She's having painter's block.
Oh my gosh.
And she's feeling guilty about the fact that she couldn't help that kid. I'm like, he still needs help. Go fucking help him now. And it was that kind of like,
pretty bad writing.
it was like, it just made me not trust. It was so distracting, and it made me not trust the writers. And so I stopped watching the show. I even tried to go back, and I was like, I'm just going to watch around that issue and just not think about it. But she kept bringing it up about how she had to, like, make these hard decisions. I was like, you could still help him! Go fucking help him! His dad is still encased in a fucking crystal. Just go fucking help him now. I was just like, oh, God. So it's just a matter of, like, being able to trust the like, I didn't stop watching Scrubs because there were a couple of fat jokes throughout all the 6 seasons. I didn't stop watching, I really love, like, 30 Rock and the way that they, like, handled Jenna's weight gain. And she was in a fat suit. And that didn't bother me because even though the whole point was we're going to make Jenna fat for a couple of episodes and then she's going to lose all the weight, they were making a point with that storyline. The point was, I think Jack says at one point, you either have to be really fat or you have to be really thin. You can't be, in between is not funny. So Jenna like gained the weight, like, kind of honestly. And then she kind of started losing the weight honestly, like, she, like, both without, like, really realizing it or focusing on it. But like, when Liz is like, no, you gotta stay fat for feminism, and she's just like, listen, I just really like the attention of being thin, and I'm just not giving this up. So to me, that had a point. Like, that was good writing. It wasn't bad writing. Like, there's also, like, we joked about blackface earlier, which was probably going to get us canceled if anybody ever listens to this. But there's an episode where they do blackface.
No, that was pretty freaking funny. I don't remember the whole thing, but...
So Tracy wears whiteface and Jenna wears blackface because they have decided that... she decided that being a woman is harder than being black. And he said that being black is harder than being a woman. So... Oh, yeah, well,
Wait, which one? What was this? Was this the 30 Rock?
30 Rock, yeah. It's Tracy and Jenna.
Okay.
Yeah. So...
I can't remember how that goes. Go ahead.
So he's wearing whiteface, she's wearing blackface, and they're both
that was terrible.
Behaving in the most stereotypically...
Yeah.
Like, offensively stereotypical ways. And my favorite part of that is that he is wearing this giant claw glove from Props because he used up all the white paint on his butt. He ran out and he didn't have enough for his hand.
Oh my gosh.
He's wearing the blonde wig.
Yeah, I remember the blonde wig.
So a lot of people don't like that episode because
Oh,
know.
I forgot.
So you think it's like it's
Tina
controversial?
Fey
Yeah.
talked about it.
Yeah.
I forgot. I think they removed it
Did they?
from something. Either they completely like whatever. I think they had it on Hulu at the time, and I think they removed that episode.
Oh, interesting. Yeah,
I
no,
forgot about that.
I know it's controversial, but like,
But they did it good.
that's what I think. Like, I
Yeah.
think that you can joke about things as long as there's a point. So, like, when I
gotcha.
when I see like a joke, like, okay, so,
And a good one, not a bad one.
well, then, like, just, it didn't make
Imagine
me
if a
mistrust the
KKK
writers.
member
Like-
wrote it.
Like when they're setting up the conversation, I'm just like, oh, I know where this is going.
Mhm.
And I was just like, this is gonna be bad. Like, I was tense.
Oh, I know. I was the same.
I was
way.
ready the first time I saw it. I was just like, oh no. And then they're both so goddamn ridiculous. And so they're like, it's like so over the top offensive that like, I just couldn't help but laugh. And like, obviously I'm not I'm not the person, I'm female, so I get the feminist part and that makes me laugh. I'm not black, so I can't say it's not offensive because I like speaking from a place of like, I'm not the target of that joke.
The show. Yeah.
But I don't think the target of the joke was feminists or black people. I think it was Jenna and Tracy being so fucking stupid and myopic.
Really?
Yeah.
I would think there'd be some of that other stuff thrown in.
Oh, you think
I don't remember. I haven't seen the
deeper
episode
than-
in a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was. What did I get you? I don't know.
Oh my god.
I
Like,
like
they
that.
don't start acting like each other. Like, he doesn't
Yeah.
act like Jenna. He acts like a stereotypical woman.
Yes.
But she doesn't act like Tracy. She acts like
Which she thinks
this
is a
dude-
black dude.
dude from the 70s. Pimp from, like, a blaxploitation movie.
Oh my god.
Oh my
yeah, it was
God.
pretty horrible. But like I don't know, like I said, well, you could tell it wasn't meant to offend anybody as far as the way it was written. Like you could tell there was nothing in it that was directed.
Well, and I didn't feel like it was lazy. Like, I didn't feel like...
Yeah.
I didn't feel like, what are we going to do this week? Here's a quick, lame joke that we could do. Like,
I think it makes sense the way you said it now that I think about it, because there was no directed like target of those. You were right. It was more about Tracy and Jenna themselves as characters.
yeah. I
I
mean,
didn't
like...
think of that.
Yeah. And
I didn't really get it until I was like, oh.
and I'm not saying that if somebody got offended by that they shouldn't.
Yeah.
Right? But
Mhm.
just for me personally, like, being able to see that the joke isn't on the stereotype. Like, that's what bothers me,
Yeah.
is when the target is the person that is, like, the minority, essentially, right? Like, the person who is oppressed.
It was just well written.
Yeah.
Because it's you'd have to see it, and then again, like you said, some people you couldn't blame somebody for being offended.
Yeah.
But just in comparison to, especially in comparison to anything else that gets into that kind of topic, it's usually terrible. So
Yeah.
that was pretty cool.
Yeah. And I've had enough of, like, very special episodes to last me a fucking lifetime. So that's why when I saw that on Mom, I was just like, no. And I love Jamie Presley. Like, I love her on My Name is Earl. And I really liked her on that show up until that point. And I'm sure I would like it if I could get past that episode. Like, if I
Yeah.
went back and watched the show, I'd probably just skip that episode. But it just bugged me. It just hit me the wrong way.
It's okay. So, and I don't want to cut you off or anything, but we got around 15 minutes.
Uh-huh.
And we had topics, and I forget what was the first one. We got into a lot of thievery. That's what happened.
I just wanted to, like, go at our childhoods from my perspective versus
Yeah.
your perspective, because the experience.
So I think we had mostly finished that one
Oh, yeah.
topic.
Yeah.
And did you remember what would be next? If we could have something, and we'd have to make sure we can't get too deep into it. For now.
Oh, for now?
Yeah. Because some of it probably long. No. We did go off on TV show stuff a bit much.
I mean, I kind of, like, guided most of the conversation. Is there something you want to talk about?
No, we do it. That's why I wanted to do this too, because what I was expecting was that's what would happen, is we would just talk like we normally do when we actually go and sit in the living room and chat with each other and stuff. So no.
I want to know your take on, like, foster care, particularly, like, because I know that we were in 4 different foster homes. I want to know, like, do you remember anything specific about Virginia, living with Virginia, and
Oh, I always forget who it was by name. Like, you always have to remind me. So far as I can remember, you always think of Virginia as the bitchy one.
she was one of those like stereotypical like you hear about like somebody who's a foster parent because they get money from the government. And so she
Oh,
wanted to have as many kids in the house
yeah.
as possible at all times.
The
But she
only
never wanted to spend any money on us.
there's a few things I can remember from there, and I think we've talked about it before, but one is I remember that was the foster home where she would have the kids. It was usually the girls, and I remember I think I learned how to do it, but they made all the girls do it. The hand washing with the big bucket and
Oh,
the scrubber thing.
I never had to do that. Do you know why?
Why?
Because anytime anybody approached me at Virginia's, so the foster home before that I was severely abused, and when we left, I was like, nobody's gonna lay a fucking hand on me ever again. This is like 8-year-old me. And I was like, so at Virginia's, if anybody even came at me like mildly aggressively, I would start screaming. I would run into my room. I would lock the door. And I would kick the door and scream until I was sure that they were gone away.
Wow.
And I shared the room.
I know. I think I remember maybe having seen it once. I don't know, or I've been really good at picturing it since you told me about it. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
And
So that's why they didn't make you wash the clothes.
she didn't even want to talk to me.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
if anybody like even approached me, I would start screaming. But like my roommate was the sweetest girl ever. She was like probably like I think around 11, 12, 13. And she was always doing like she's always ironing. And she showed me the blisters she'd get from the fucking iron and like oh I remember one time I came in from school and she had her hand in a cup of water. She had burned herself. And she's like ironing and like having her hand in a cup of water at the same time. And I was just like I thought she was Virginia's real daughter because I was like, who else would voluntarily help her with housework? And she was like, no. I think her family was from Puerto Rico.
Hmm.
So I don't know how she ended up with Virginia, but I think she was like, no, she's Mexican and I'm Puerto Rican or whatever. At that age, like people would tell me different countries and they'd get all mixed up in my head.
I still don't know them. I don't really care.
I mean, I care now. Like if somebody tells me where they're from, I'll remember. But at the time, I everybody was Mexican who spoke Spanish, whether they were from Spain or South America, completely different continents. Um, and when they would, it was kind of like saying, "Oh, I'm not Californian. I'm from Tahunga." You know, like to me, I didn't get the distinction. You know, like that was in my head. I didn't understand. Like, why do you need to tell me what city you're from? Like, I didn't get it. Like, I was not good at geography.
Yeah.
But no, she was the sweetest, and like I would go in, and if anybody would approach me, I'd go do my screaming fit, and then she would come tap on the door. Can I come in? And she was like older than me and bigger than me, but she was like, she wouldn't like never force herself in there.
Mm-hmm. Sounds cool.
She was very nice. I remember like, especially the first night, like making sure that she was asleep before I let myself fall asleep. Because I was so used to having somebody like bully me every waking moment, and like at that previous foster home, I wasn't allowed to fall asleep before
Jeez.
my foster sister that I shared a room with. So like if she thought I was asleep, she would say my name and wake me up.
Jeez.
Yeah, so we started talking about my experience again. So what was your impression of Virginia?
Well, just the laundry scrubbing. There was a couple, like two major things, and then the other thing. So the two major things I remember was the laundry bucket thing. Second one was a night where there were just gunshots, all just nonstop for like a couple minutes.
Was it like a holiday?
A what?
A holiday?
No, that was where we lived. That was the
We
area.
lived in Glendale.
We were in a gang territory. You remember the park we used to go through?
Yeah, oh yeah, there's a lot of graffiti.
A lot of drug dealers were there.
Really?
Oh, I saw gangs everywhere, especially in school there. There's all
Really?
gangs all over the place. Yeah.
I don't remember. Well, I didn't know about gangs at the time.
I don't. I'm assuming something like that must be different for guys, because they were everywhere.
But I also didn't have friends.
I don't know. I mean, I had a few friends, but no, there were gangs everywhere. So, anyways, I remember like one night, just lots of gunshots, and we had to get down below the windows.
Oh, I think I'm. Oh, I think I might remember that too.
I'll never forget that. It was
That's
freaking
so weird. I
crazy.
completely forgot about that until you mentioned it. I think weren't we watching TV?
Yeah, yeah.
It was like
And then
Alf or
get down, get
something.
below the windows, get behind the door, like
I
whatever.
remember being irritated that we had to do that.
Or watch the TV, right? No, there was because it wasn't like we'll hear one gunshot, two gunshots, whatever. Sometimes, rarely here, but I mean,
Yeah.
in areas we've been before, we would hear them sometimes.
Yeah.
But no, it was lots. Like it was a lot of gunfire.
Oh wow.
Yeah. That's why I remember that one. But I also was very aware of the gangs that were there in that area. Like
Oh,
we used to walk straight through gang territory.
I didn't even know
to
what
go
a
to school
gang
and
was
stuff.
until I was probably like 10 or 11. Oh, I
Um,
probably learned about gangs from an after school special or something.
that's funny. Beverly Hills 90210.
Or like Babysitter's Club. I don't know.
Hells yeah. And the other thing I remember was the park, because even though it was scary, like I loved going there. They had played a couple times out on the park hoops.
Oh, the basketball court. Yeah.
But it was always used. The chains were always broken and shit, which wasn't a big deal. I don't. We always had this thing like the chain was broken. You don't want to use that. I don't know why. It was just this thing, right? It was really weird. So there was a gym like right next to the park or on the park or whatever. It was like a basketball gym there. So we used to go in there and play. And that was where my bike chain would always break. I think I think at one point it eventually got so loose that you couldn't even put it back on again. Like it just would not work. But I'll never forget that freaking bike, man. Every time, man, put the chain back on, chain comes right off. We start pedaling. Oh my gosh.
What was your impression of school there?
I mix a couple of them up because I'll never forget a school. I think it was the other one, the one where we were kind of on a farm.
You were on a farm?
Well, it wasn't a farm, but like when we took care of chickens, they had. I think I told you this before. I would have to go. I didn't have to go out all the time, but
Oh,
they taught me
Mrs.
how
Lewis.
to do that. Yeah, Mrs. Lewis. And I would go out. They taught me how to get eggs from a chicken in the
Yeah.
morning. You had to get up super early. I was so glad they didn't make me do it all the time though. But I think I did like 2 or 3 times maybe.
I thought you did it because you were like interested in it.
Oh no,
Oh, you were
I don't.
supposed to help.
You know what? Actually, maybe I was. I might have been. I might have been.
Yeah, because Mr. Lewis
I think
kind
I
of
thought
like.
of it as a chore though, and that's why I didn't do it. I
Oh.
don't know. I don't remember. I must have been though. I must have been interested.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, because they didn't force us to do anything. Yeah. Now they were like, duh. I'm so used to thinking that kind of, but no, they were cool. I don't remember them that much, but so I mix up that school. I think sometimes.
Oh,
and
Brainerd.
the
That
other
was
school.
awful. That was awful. I hated
Um,
that school.
I think the one in the gangish territory. It was not super hardcore, but it was gang territory. I think that was the one where they grouped us up in a science class, and we like made a light bulb light through like wires or something. No, like connect to a wall or anything. We just
Uh-huh.
we.
Is it connected to a potato?
It might have been. I don't remember. I think it was something else, but it might have been a potato. It
Maybe
might
a
have
lime?
been. Might have. It was something, right? Like I don't remember. I just remember the light coming on and being like, "Whoa!" I can't believe that actually worked. Like,
Yeah.
that was funny. But yeah, I know I can always picture it. I can always picture the little thing we made because you had to make like a thing inside
Yeah.
a cardboard and hook up all this stuff and whatever. I don't know. But yeah, I don't have a lot of memory. We've talked about this a couple of times, and you have way more memories of these places than I do.
I don't know if that's true. I just think the memories that I have are
So
ones
traumatic.
like stories that I've told myself so many times that I like because I don't remember a lot. I just remember like maybe 3 or 4 things from each place. Obviously, like the one we were there for a long time. I remember that one more because there was more stuff.
Which one was that? I thought. Well, no, weren't we with Illy the most? Oh, not the one. You can't even say her name. Wow, that's horrible.
That's not Illy's. It's not Illy's name. I don't want to say.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Well, well, you could. Well, there. Anyways. Yeah. Well, Is there, since maybe we can say that for another time, but there's not a whole lot left on that, but we do have like a whole nother foster home we can talk a little bit about.
Oh my god, yeah.
But is there anything, because I mean, I wouldn't mind staying, but it's good to end it, whatever.
Yeah.
So for our last few minutes, is there anything simple that we could talk about real quick? Like I don't know.
No, we can just end it early.
All right, we're gonna end it now. Thank you for listening. Hi, Dark Alchemy.
Thank you, Dark Alchemy. I don't know why you want to listen to us.
And whoever else might happen to listen as well.
It's just Dark Alchemy.
We will record this another time.
We should just send it to him directly.
I might. Our plan is, I talked to my sister tonight about this, and I was telling her how like I've always wanted to do a podcast, and friends have asked me to do a podcast for a really long time, and I haven't been able to figure out how to do it on my own because when it comes down to it, I have too many thoughts that ramble through my brain constantly, and I just can't pick something. And it's rare for me to get down and focus and write anything, and even with game reviews or whatever. It's lately, anyways. There was a time years ago where I could easily. I mean, I wrote 200 articles in a month.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I think it might have even been 2 weeks. I don't know, whatever. But just not like that anymore. So I asked my sister if she would want to do some podcast stuff with me, just us doing regular conversations sometimes, and we would think about a topic that we maybe want to talk to. Anyway, so the initial plan is we would do this once a week. Now maybe as a starter thing, we might do this a little more often as we get started, and if we're in the mood to do it.
Yeah, because we can record like maybe daily, if like, and then
if we're
both awake at the same time,
yeah,
and then release it once a week.
Interesting.
And that way, if we miss a day or a week or whatever, then
we'll see how that goes. Anyways, that's our plan for now. So anyways, thank you very much for listening. We'll talk to you later. Bye bye. You want to say a bye bye real quick?
Bye bye.